Welcome to Have You Read It, the channel where we bring books to life, one summary at a time. Whether you're here for self-help, personal growth, or business inspiration, there's something for everyone. Today we're diving into Susan David's Emotional Agility. Get unstuck, embrace change, and thrive in work and life. This book offers a powerful framework for navigating the complexities of our emotions, especially in today's fast-paced world. It's not about ignoring or suppressing our feelings, but about learning to understand, accept, and ultimately harness them for a more fulfilling life. David argues that many of us get stuck in emotional ruts, reacting to situations in rigid, unhelpful ways. This rigidity, she explains, can stem from clinging to old narratives about ourselves or from relying on outdated rules of thumb that no longer serve us. Think of the captain of the battleship, Defiant, who nearly collided with a lighthouse because he was so sure of his course and his authority that he refused to consider other possibilities. We all have our own lighthouses, relationships, career goals, personal aspirations, and our rigid emotional responses can steer us right into them. The core concept of the book is emotional agility. David defines this as the ability to be flexible with our thoughts and feelings, responding to situations in ways that align with our values and intentions. It's about creating space between how we feel and what we do about those feelings. Viktor Frankl, the psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor, beautifully articulated this idea. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. David introduces 4 key movements of emotional agility: showing up, stepping out, walking your why, and moving on. Let's explore each of these in detail. Showing up involves facing our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors with willingness, curiosity, and kindness. This means acknowledging and accepting all parts of our inner experience, even the uncomfortable ones. David emphasizes the importance of self-compassion in this process. We need to treat ourselves with the same kindness we would offer a friend or a child who is struggling. Stepping out means detaching from our thoughts and emotions and observing them objectively. It's about recognizing that thoughts are just thoughts, and emotions are just emotions. They don't define us, and we don't have to act on them automatically. David uses the metaphor of seeing ourselves as the chessboard, full of possibilities, rather than as any one piece, limited to certain moves. One technique for stepping out is labeling our thoughts and feelings. For example, instead of saying, "I'm stressed," we can say, "I'm noticing that I'm experiencing stress." This creates a crucial distance, allowing us to see our inner experience more clearly. Walking your why involves connecting with our core values and acting in ways that align with them. This requires identifying what truly matters to us, not what we think we should value, but what genuinely gives our lives meaning and purpose. David offers examples of people who have realigned their lives with their values, such as filmmaker Tom Shadyac, who downsized his extravagant lifestyle to focus on community and giving back, and author Jeff Kinney, who opened a bookstore in his hometown to connect with young readers. Values, David explains, provide a compass for navigating life's choices, and they protect us from negative social contagion, the tendency to mindlessly adopt other people's values or behaviors. Moving on involves putting emotional agility into action and making changes in our lives. David highlights 2 principles for moving on: the tiny tweaks principle and the seesaw principle. The tiny tweaks principle emphasizes the power of small, deliberate changes. We don't need to make radical transformations to see significant results. David offers the example of hotel cleaners who improved their health simply by recognizing that their work was a form of exercise. The seesaw principle is about finding the balance between challenge and competence. We thrive when we live at the edge of our abilities, taking on challenges that stretch us without overwhelming us. David uses the story of mathematician Andrew Wiles, who dedicated decades to solving Fermat's last theorem, to illustrate the power of pursuing challenges that genuinely engage us. Now let's explore some of the common ways we get hooked by our emotions, and how emotional agility can help us unhook. One common hook is thought blaming. We blame our thoughts for our actions or inactions. For example, I thought I'd embarrass myself, so I didn't mingle at the party. David points out that thoughts alone don't cause behavior. We cause our behavior. We have the power to choose how we respond to our thoughts. Another hook is monkey-mindedness. This refers to the incessant chatter of our inner critic, constantly jumping from one worry to the next. Monkey mind can lead us to awfulize, imagining worst-case scenarios, and it prevents us from being present in the moment. Mindfulness practices, such as focusing on our breath, can help quiet the monkey mind and create space for more intentional thinking. We can also get hooked by old, outgrown ideas. David shares the example of Kevin, whose childhood experiences led him to be distrustful in relationships. As an adult, this distrust was holding him back, even though the circumstances of his life had changed. Emotional agility involves recognizing when old patterns are no longer serving us and adapting our behaviors accordingly. Another common hook is wrong-headed righteousness. This is the need to be right, even when it damages our relationships or prevents us from moving forward. David uses the example of couples who argue pointlessly, even after they've reached an understanding, just to prove they were right. Letting go of the need to be right can be a powerful act of emotional agility, freeing us to focus on what truly matters. The sources also address the cultural obsession with happiness. David argues that while happiness is certainly desirable, striving for it directly can be counterproductive. She points out that negative emotions, such as sadness, anger, and fear, actually serve important functions. They can help us form arguments, improve memory, encourage perseverance, and make us more polite and attentive. David suggests that instead of chasing happiness, we should focus on living a meaningful life, accepting all of our emotions as part of the human experience. Applying emotional agility in the workplace is also discussed extensively in the book. David notes that many of us bring our emotional baggage to work, getting hooked by old stories about our competence or our relationships with colleagues. She emphasizes the importance of showing up to our emotions at work, even the uncomfortable ones, and using them as information rather than directives. David also introduces the concept of job crafting, which involves reconfiguring our work to make it more engaging and fulfilling. This can involve taking on new challenges, changing the nature of our interactions with colleagues, or simply shifting our perspective on what we do. Finally, the sources offer valuable insights into raising emotionally agile children. David argues that over-parenting, while well-intentioned, can prevent children from developing the resilience and emotional agility they need to thrive in a complex world. She emphasizes the importance of allowing children to experience setbacks and learn from them, and of honoring their emotions without trying to fix them. David encourages parents to model emotional agility, showing their children by example how to navigate difficult feelings and make choices aligned with their values. Now let's distill the main takeaways of emotional agility into some easy-to-remember heuristics. Recognize your hooks. What thoughts, feelings, or behaviors keep you stuck? Name them. This is the first step to unhooking. Show up to your emotions. Accept all your feelings, even the uncomfortable ones, with curiosity and compassion. Step out and observe. Create distance between you and your emotions. See your thoughts as just thoughts, and your feelings as just feelings. Walk your why. Identify your core values and act in ways that align with them. Make choices that move you toward the life you want. Make tiny tweaks. Small changes can lead to big results. Experiment and see what works. Embrace challenge. Step outside your comfort zone. Growth happens at the edge of your abilities. Be kind to yourself. Treat yourself with the same compassion you would offer a friend. Remember, it's okay to not be okay. Life isn't always easy. Accepting this truth can be a source of strength. And finally, as Linda, the woman facing a terminal illness in the book, advises, dance if you can. This captures the spirit of emotional agility, embracing life fully, even in the face of adversity. Thanks for watching. Have you read it? Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you never miss our next book dive.